Hello, Sagittarius. Welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. If Sagittarius is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this is your tarot card reading. Remember to hit the like button, leave a comment. Consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. If there is anything you would like me to pray over, or meditate upon, or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Now, this is a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger, and I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I provide. And remember, Sagittarius, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. Oh, look at that. Oh, 9 of Cups. To start, that is the best. That is the best news ever. These are all of your emotional wishes coming true. Enjoy the good news. I feel like this week you're going to get the good news. Okay? This is absolutely beautiful. This is abundance on the physical, financial, mental, emotional, and the spiritual, creative planes. This is you living the happy life. Yeah. I feel like this is the energy incoming right now in your life. You probably already feel it, you know? Let's put this card into a little bit of context. Let's see what is going on in your week. We have a 7 of Pentacles. Now, this is for the week of October 26th through November 1st. You've got the Magician. Look at that. You have a 9 of Wands, a 3 of Pentacles, and interesting, a Knight of Swords there. I feel like there is good news coming in. I feel like this might be a messenger coming in to bring you some good tidings. Okay. Path of the Serpent sees a 4 of Pentacles. Your superpower card, the Art or Temperance card, as it's sometimes called, that represents the Sagittarius energy. All right, Sagittarius, a little 3 of Swords, but this is in the position of what we don't want. So this is what we're going to avoid, right? This is what we are going to not let into our week, right, Sagittarius? The worry, the overthinking, the sorrow, the sadness, the kind of the self-doubt, or even doubting the good things. You know, when we get a 9 of Cups, we kind of think it's too good to be true. No. I feel like right now you have the opportunity to multiply happiness and joy. Okay? So let's not sabotage it. Let's not let anything from the past get in the way of all this happiness. Okay? So we got to keep that 3 of Swords in check. We have a Hermit energy there, which I think is kind of a good thing. Okay, it means that we're still making sure that we do the self-care, that we have private time, that we keep sort of somewhat to ourselves, you know, that we socialize, I guess, but not too much. So to me, it feels like there's a nice balance between the Hermit and the Magician, because the Magician is all out there doing the magic stuff, right? And the Hermit's kind of like just at home doing the other side of magic, which is, you know, kind of the boring stuff behind the scenes, right? This is the show person. The Magician is the one that's out there on stage. The Hermit's the one backstage. So you got kind of both of those. Don't forget to take care of the back of the house, even though you might enjoy the front of the house more, you know? We got to have both. Anyway, let's select the mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. This is a random card from the Smith-Waite Tarot. This is the factor infinite and unknown. We're going to set this down right over here with Tiny Bob Ross right on top. We're not going to look at that happy little card until the very end. It will tie everything together. It will give us the confirmation that we need at the end of the reading. If you have a prediction for that card, Sagittarius, at any point during this message, put that downstairs beneath the video in the comment section, all right? Now, let's look around the room, because we do see just the 1, 2, 3 majors. This week might be a transition, really, from you kind of being back of the house toward more of a front of the house type of situation. Okay, we have this Temperance card, kind of a pressure cooker. It's kind of like, you know, there are some opportunities for you to grow and for you to sort of, you know, challenge yourself a little bit and keep pushing forward. It's not going to just be easy kicking back with your feet up on the coffee table kind of week. I think it's a week where you can continue to do the good work that you're doing and continue to make progress. I feel like you're hitting a lot of milestones, and that really gives us this 9 of Cups feeling, okay? So anyway, we've got the majors, and we have our fire. We've certainly got our water. We've got a couple of air cards that we're going to need to deal with, and then we have our earth, and earth cards. I feel like in a way some of this happiness is coming because for some of you have almost written something off as being a failure, but it's not. Okay? So don't give up on something. You need to stick with it. But let's start with our 9 of Cups. Pure happiness. Okay? Emotional wishes coming true. Good news coming in. This is gratitude. Okay? Having that gratitude, sharing in your joy, sharing in your blessings are going to make those blessings multiply. This is a blessing multiplier, a wish multiplier, a happiness multiplier. The 9s of the tarot are multipliers. You have a 9 of Wands too, your strength multiplier and your happiness multiplier. So that's pretty good news, okay? So share your joy. Don't keep it private. Like I said, I feel like you're kind of entering into a more social type of vibe somewhere in your life, okay? Kind of we're emerging from something. Maybe you've been in the studio working on something. It's time now to kind of start letting people hear the music, you know? So be generous with your creativity. Be generous with your love this week. Be generous with the things that you're enjoying. You know, it feels good to share that, all right? And kindness, too. I feel like you're very strong, you're very committed, you're a hard worker. And I think that you also can be very kind. And I think that kindness is going to go a long way toward sort of securing like some kind of a cooperation or just the assistance of others or some kind of a collaboration or a group thing or just kind of like, I don't know, being kind is just sort of like, it's almost like insurance. You know, we're being nice to everybody just because because we want to, because if you're feeling joy, it's going to be hard to not be nice to people, you know? But then I think it also like is kind of like establishing a connection with everybody right off the bat, building rapport with people. Yeah, we see that with the Magician, these 2 cards together. This is somebody that's sharing in that joy and happiness and kind of using it to network and connect with people. Yeah, so be generous, be kind. It's going to circle back to you. Yeah, but don't show off. The Magician sometimes likes to show off, you know, especially when you're feeling good, especially when good things are happening, the things that you're working on are working. You're going to want to showboat a little bit, and that's okay, but not too much, and sort of, you know, acknowledge the people around you and obvious things like that, right? Creativity is going to blossom right now because your heart is full, because I feel like you've got the right people around you and you've got the right energy. Yeah, so I feel like creativity is really on the rise. I feel like you got to slow down and you got to smile and you've got to enjoy the things that are happening in your life. Okay, and this, of course, is going over the Halloween Samhain holiday, so maybe there's some joy and some kind of sharing or celebration that you're going to take part in. If there are any invitations, and I think there are, if there are any invitations coming into your life this week where you can just enjoy something and relax and go to a party or just have some fun, do it. Okay? Allow yourself for at least one night this week. Just be content. Just slow down, smile. Don't worry about work. Don't worry about yesterday. Don't worry about tomorrow. Just be content in the moment and let the loving light of joy and happiness just sort of wash over you like this card. So we're just overflowing with the joy. So find a moment this week where you can just feel this without worrying about anything, okay? Without the past or the future kind of creeping in. And I do think that, you know, last week was a pretty demanding week. I was going to say challenging, but I think maybe demanding is the right word because of that 9 of Wands. But let's talk about the 7. Let's get this out of the way because this is, you know, maybe a delay or some doubts, something that was testing your patience. I feel like it's very important right now that even if things feel like they're slowing down or that there's a blockage or something kind of got stuck or we're just not sure about something, maintain that positive attitude. The positive attitude is what's going to overcome this delay or blockage anyway. Okay? And I think that, you know, you're very, very close to breaking through some obstacle. It might be a financial thing. It's kind of like, you know, everything's going fairly well, but it may be that there's this bill, this debt that's kind of lingering, or something going on at work, or there's just like a little bit of uncertainty in your finances, or even for some of you, a little bit of uncertainty in your physical health. A positive attitude and inner strength. And sometimes it takes our inner strength in order to make us be positive. Sometimes it's really difficult work to be positive. But I think positive energy, positive attitude, expressing love and kindness and gratitude is going to bring you all the good vibes that you need right now. Okay? Especially if you're looking at this reading and you're thinking, I don't feel all that happy at all. Well, that's because this Three of Swords is probably still creeping in. It's battling to take over your aura right now. And we've got to try to stay positive, as much as we can. Don't give up. Okay, whatever the blockage might be or the slowdown, you're close. Keep moving. Be gentle with everything. Don't try to force it. Try to stay positive. Try to stay as cheerful as you can. Be gentle, go slow. You're gonna make it. It's gonna work. Okay? Slow progress is still progress. Okay? I'm seeing here that it might be important that we sort of stop and I kind of feel like you've been pushing very hard towards something. There's a little bit of a blockage or a delay there. And so taking a night off where you can just forget about all this stuff for a minute and just feel good and feel happy and feel the love around you, that's going to allow you to come back to this work with a fresh attitude. And you might be able to reevaluate it a little bit and adjust a little bit of what wasn't working and make it work. Okay? Avoid the negative self-talk at all costs. That Three of Swords is here in the reading because it's creeping in. And it's like we're trying to maintain a very strong, positive, healthy attitude, our disposition. And I think indeed, if we look at this linearly, we see that you've been really working hard on something. There's a little bit of a delay. Taking a night off, like I said, to just enjoy yourself. Coming back to it with a kind of fresh perspective. Things are going to work. That's what the magician would do anyway. I want you to claim your role as a magic maker in the comments. Because you are a magic maker. And sometimes the magician just needs to say, I don't know what's wrong with it. I'm going to go have a good time. I'll come back to it in the morning. So don't give up, but definitely don't get lost in the negative self-talk. Okay? Your effort is paying off, and it is going to bring you all the love and all the joy and all the glory. Okay? Stay consistent with this work. And it's okay to step away from it for a moment and then come back to it, but make sure you come back, Don't get discouraged that maybe the results are a little bit slower or the fruit wasn't as big as you thought it was going to be. Sometimes we get lost in those little details. It's almost like you're running your business, and every month this year you've been up 20%, but then now this month, you're down 10%. Oh, gosh, I'm down 10%. My business is failing. My efforts aren't working. Nobody likes the company anymore, and we're not selling as much, and it's dire. And we start catastrophizing. This is just 1 month, and maybe it's a little bit more than that. But the point is, overall, you're still way, 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 way up. Okay, so try to maintain that perspective. It's all about how you look at things, So let this week be a little bit of a quiet week to help you kind of restore your energy and feel good and come back to your efforts, your work, whether this is at home, at work, at school, whether this is your fitness or your finances, your health or your wealth, right? Whatever this is, when I say work, I'm not just talking about your job, what you do for money. If you're retired, if you're in school, whatever it is. Whatever you're sort of burning calories, working on or worrying about every day. Okay? So a quiet week. Yeah. Your persistence is going to really pay off. And this is very, very important for you. Okay? Because this is kind of, if we dwell too long in the Seven of Pentacles, then the Three of Swords will start creeping in and start multiplying the misery. Pretty soon we'll have a Nine of Swords, and nobody wants that. Okay, so if something's not working exactly right, we take a step away from it, and we come back with maybe a fresh perspective, and we see what we didn't see yesterday, or what we don't see today, we'll see tomorrow. See what I mean? This is yesterday, today, tomorrow. So I think this is that week, right, where we just kind of step away from this, get a fresh perspective tomorrow as we come back, and we'll be able to fix this, whatever it might be. It's a learning experience, for sure. Okay? Let's talk about this magician energy. Some of you are performers. Let me know in the comments if you're a performer of some kind. Open mic, music or poetry, or like if you dance, or maybe you're literally a magician. I don't know. I feel like some of you are like stage performers, yeah. Or I feel like that you want to be, because there's this kind of like showmanship kind of energy that I'm feeling with some of you, okay? This is the card, the Magician, that says you have all the tools you need. There's nothing you're lacking. You have the tools to either fix the problem or learn what the problem is, learn how to fix it, okay? But you're perfectly capable of making progress right now. And it's just a matter of taking a step back and coming and looking at it and thinking, okay, what am I gonna try today? Yeah. And so if we're getting frustrated with the Seven of Pentacles, and maybe you're not, maybe you're just saying, you know what, I'm gonna keep plugging away, I know it's gonna work. Okay, the Magician is very confident. This week, speak clearly. Your words are going to have extra power. The things you say, especially to yourself, are going to stick, all right? So be very careful with what you say to yourself. To other people too, obviously, kindness and all that stuff, but it's kind of, the veil is thin to the subconscious, and so I feel that there's, anything that you say to yourself is going to sink in. So let's be mindful. This is a good week to try something creative. Okay, I think that creative energy is really on the rise here. And it may give you the solution to whatever the Seven of Pentacles problem is for you. And the Seven of Pentacles could be really simple. Could just be like, something's wrong with the toilet. I don't know what it is. Okay? It doesn't have to be a big major thing. In fact, the Seven of Pentacles is usually something that's kind of small, but it gets us frustrated. It's like, I can't put that stupid bookshelf together from Amazon, and so I'm ready to just smash all the particle board. But so you just step away from it. It's not your fault. They don't write those instructions very clearly, do they? They put the pictures on there, but I can't see what it is. So you just take a break, you come back to it, and you'll get it put together, and your books will be, they'll be fine. They'll have their home, okay? You could tell I've been down that road a few times, right? But, try something creative, too. I feel like, good ideas are coming very quickly to you right now. It's important, too, that I think you kind of stay focused on the one goal. Don't spread yourself too thin. I think a lot of you are very close to that finish line, very close to completing that construction of something. The Nine of Wands, the Nine of Cups kind of say that. It's like we're almost at the 10. This is almost like picture perfect kind of style, So I feel like if you focus on the one thing, the one goal, instead of too many, it's going to become everything that you wanted it to. Okay, your focus is really, your focus is like turning hours into outcomes, and that's not scattering your energy around. Okay, one task, no distractions, close all the other tabs on the computer, and just focus on what you're doing in this particular thing. Okay, and I think that's really a way of laser focusing. The Magician has a tendency to magnify whatever it's looking at. It's like the magnifying glass, because it's kind of our persona, it is our personality, it is basically the sum total of all the tabs you got open in your mind, And so if we can close down all the other tabs and just focus on the one tab, that's going to intensify, and it's going to magnify its energy, okay? And in some ways, this is the Magician now choosing what to look at. As that magnifying glass, if you focus on love and abundance and happiness, this is going to multiply in your life. If the Magician focuses on strength, that strength is going to multiply. If the Magician focuses on, failure, sorrow, guess what that's going to do? Multiply. We don't want the misery multiplier. So choosing what to look at is going to magnify that thing that you're looking at, okay? So that focus is very important. You have a lot of commitment. You have a lot of consistency, okay? The promises that you make, okay, are really building up trust in yourself and other people, trusting in you too. So those tiny promises, okay, are really helping to build up your magical power. Those little things that you tell yourself you're going to do or not do, and then you work hard to keep those promises, okay? You're using your energy to build and not just to worry, okay? Not to take apart, but to construct, okay? I feel like there's a sense of timing right now. I feel like everything's happening right on time. Everything kind of lines up when you're lined up with yourself. When you're in a good mood, when you're cheerful, I think everything just kind of tends to come together. It's almost like we get that kind of divine timing. It's like we just get in the flow of synchronicity a little bit, And so I think that Seven of Pentacles, I feel like this is the week where we take maybe a break, we step back from it for a moment. But I feel like by the end of the week, you're gonna have it solved. You're gonna be basking in the success, And confidence. The magician is very confident, especially if this is some kind of a stage performer. You have to have that confidence. And if you're a stage performer, every line, every note, every syllable is intentional and deliberate. And it's delivered with confidence and with animation, with vitality, with enthusiasm. You're emphasizing your life. That's the word. Emphasis. What are you emphasizing in your life? The good stuff? Or the not so good stuff, the frustrations, okay? I feel like this week is about using your talent to make something real, okay? And we have a Nine of Wands. I feel like you've been working on something for a while. This is sometimes a card saying like we're getting pretty exhausted. We're starting to wear out a little bit because of, everything that you've been doing, Sagittarius. But this is a good card for you because this is the moon in Sagittarius. Okay, so this is very representative of your strength. You're strong enough to handle everything that you're doing. There's no lack of willpower. There's no lack of confidence. Okay, but it's also rest when you need to. The magician, I think either last week or even at the beginning of this week, was focusing on magnifying your strength. This is when you were trying to be as strong as humanly possible. Superhuman strength, Now, the magician is focusing on happiness, just being content, replacing the fire with water, resting when you need to, recovery, right? Because then maybe next week is going to be back to the hard work. So protect what you have been working hard for. Okay, there might be a challenge that's repeating in your life, but this time you're going to handle it a lot better than before. This is the last time I think that you're going to have to kind of come back to the bookshelves and say, this is it, I'm getting this bookshelf built. I'm not going through this again, So I feel that the Nine of Wands is sort of showing that like we're very close to the accomplishment, okay? I think that you've had a lot of experience in your life and you've learned resilience. You've learned how to balance intense effort and I need to step back for a minute. I need to rest. I need to go have a good time, go out with my friends, see my family, pet the dog. And then I need to come back, and guess what? When I come back again, I'm twice as strong as I was. It's like going to the gym. You go to the gym every single day, okay. Take a day off. Treat yourself nice, pamper yourself, a little bit of kindness. Tell me in the comments what you like to do for self-care. Not just, drink water, eat healthy food, sleep, the obvious stuff, right? What do you like to do for self-care? Okay, is it bubble bath? Is it a little ice cream? Is it a walk in the park? Is it going to the spa? Is it a sauna? Is it the hot tub? I like a hot tub. Okay, what is it that you like to do? Maybe it's, you like to take a long bath and do your hair and I don't know, moisturize or something what is it that we do? Because it feels like this is kind of the week where we're going to take at least one day to do a little bit of that. Yeah. And then, of course, when you go back to the gym, you have even more energy because you gave yourself that rest day. That's where the strength is really, that's where the strength really is consolidated, right? That's where strength is built. You don't get stronger at the gym. You get stronger at home afterwards, when you're sleeping, when you're resting, when you're watching Netflix or YouTube tarot readings. Yeah, that's when you get stronger. And so I think this is really like, this is that perfect kind of alternation here, because it's in the Nine of Cups energy. This is where you get stronger. And maybe the Nine of Wands is where you get happier, right? Because you're going back to the gym and you're twice as strong as you were last week, and that makes you pretty happy. So we're kind of flipping these cards around a little bit, but I like it. Okay. So I feel like your momentum is compounding. Okay. I feel like the next couple of weeks at the most, I think you're going to see a lot of progress in whatever you've been pushing toward. Okay. Don't let any kind of small doubts weaken your confidence. Take the rest day. Know that that is where you get stronger. Okay. And, you know, your persistence is going to turn this struggle into victory. Make no mistake. Okay. Have no doubt about it. It's going to work. You're going to succeed. Yeah. So we have a Three of Pentacles at the top here. And the Three of Pentacles is a card of work. It's a card of collaboration. It's also a card of, you know, to me, like being recognized for some sort of craftsmanship, being recognized for like the skill. Yeah. So I feel that a lot of you are, even though you maybe don't feel like things are going exactly as planned, that there's been a little bit of a delay or a blockage or a little F failure, okay? A problem that you're still working on solving, okay? There still seems to be a recognition of the skill that you're doing. It's like, I don't know, it's like you're at work and you can't fix the problem yet, right? And so you kind of feel like, I'm just not getting it. I can't fix this thing. I don't know what to do right now. But your boss comes by and says, wow, you're just amazing, right? And you're like, why? I can't fix it, you know? And I think that's sort of missing the point. It's not about the result. It's about who we're becoming during the process, you know, who we're building ourselves up into. The hard work is what it's all about. At the same time, I feel like your hard work is going to pay off. I feel like you're building kind of one brick at a time. Whatever you're working on, whatever your project or your skill, you're going to see results. I feel like you already are seeing a lot of results, not just out externally in the physical world, but the results of what you're doing internally, who you're becoming. Okay. I feel that teamwork right now is going to lead to even more success for you. So consider how you might collaborate or work in harmony with other people. Don't rush. Focus on quality work. The craftsmanship, especially if you're a stage performer or something like this. It's about quality. Don't rush through your lines, you know, but speak them deliberately, intentionally, and emphasize your meaning. I feel like you are getting the recognition for your effort, for your reliability, for your tenacity, for your strength. So stay focused on the things that you can control. And today seems like it's a rest day. Now, Sagittarius, you are the Temperance card, which is to me the blacksmith's shop and the blacksmith's anvil, okay, the pressure cooker. And so in this case, we really do see the fire, right? How do you forge a sword, right? You put it in the furnace. You take it out, you bang it around a bunch of times, which maybe that's our 7 and our 3, which, by the way, equals 10 of Pentacles, right? So you continuing to focus on high-quality work is going to produce your 10 of Pentacles, your ultimate success. But anyway, the pressure cooker, the blacksmith's shop, you're going from fire to water. You put the metal in the furnace, then you bang it around, then you dip it in water. And it's in the cooling down in the bucket of water that the molecules actually bind together and the sword gets stronger. It doesn't get stronger in the fire, it gets weaker. You know, you've seen molten metal before, and you can bang it with a hammer, or you can just bend it. I mean, it's hot, don't touch it, but it's very pliable, right? It's melted. it's in the water that it consolidates and gets stronger. That's where it really builds its strength, okay? So stay focused anyway on this process. And I also feel like for some of you, this Three of Pentacles is like new job kind of vibes, yeah? That maybe this is you like knowing your potential. It's almost like when you write your resume, you're talking about the person that you're becoming. You don't talk about who you were, what you've done, right? But it's like you kind of are going to like, I don't know, it's almost like you recognize your potential, so you're sort of, I don't know how to put that. You're kind of pumping yourself up a little bit. Yeah. You're aligning yourself with who you're ready to become. Because the Three of Pentacles is a card of potential. Okay, this is what I am working toward accomplishing. This is something that I'm trying to bring to the physical plane. And so I feel like if you are, well, basically it's like you're aspiring higher. It's not a lateral move. If you're going after a new job or you're getting a new job, it's going to be one that's more challenging for you. It's going to be a step up, which means you're going to have to then grow to fill those shoes. Okay? And it's going to take discipline. It's going to take care. It's going to be really good. Mars and Capricorn here as well. So there's a real ambition with this. Well, let's talk about our Knight of Swords. Now, a Knight of Swords, it's kind of a Libra energy. Fast changes. I feel like as the week moves forward toward the end of the week, you're going to be called upon to make some very quick decisions. Yeah, a lot of things are going to be happening quickly. You're going to have to stay very clear. I think that Nine of Cups, that rest energy is going to be so helpful because you're going to go back into your work, whatever it is, with a clear head. You're not going to be impatient. You're not going to be harsh. You're not going to be all snappy and short-tempered with people. You're going to be kind. You're not going to be reactive. You're going to be chill. You know, it's like you just got back from a really good massage and you're just going with the flow, you know. But I think you're also taking bold action. I think you're coming back to your situation with a fresh perspective, okay? And you're going to have a kind of a refreshed, I don't know, mental energy that's going to allow you to make even more progress toward all of your goals, okay? Someone may challenge you toward the end of this week, right toward the end of the week. Kind of feel like someone's going to challenge you, but you're going to respond with with logic, not with anger. You know, that you're going to handle it in a very reasonable way, very fair way. But also I kind of feel like in a very almost in a laid back kind of way, you know. And that's because of our Nine of Cups there. As the week goes on, you want to make sure you protect your time and you focus on what really matters most to you. Yeah. And that could be your work and friends, family, loved ones. It's you understanding how to direct your magician energy, what to emphasize in your life. Okay. I feel like some good news is coming in. And I don't know if this has to do with the work that you're doing or the blockage or the slowdown or either the physical health or the financial health. But it kind of feels like there's something that we feel like hasn't been working just right. Feel like good news is coming in that's going to make you very happy. Yeah. It's going to bring us that Nine of Cups energy. Maybe an opportunity for traveling, or the news that comes in might require that you travel. Okay, that's kind of what I'm feeling here. Your focus is going to be very critical as the week moves forward. Yeah, and just everything here is really, especially the Magician, the Nine of Wands, and the Knight of Swords are very focused energies. Yeah. Now, if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please do. These readings are totally free. And leave a comment. Let me know which card on the path of the dove is resonating with you the most. Okay. we start the path of the serpent with the Four of Pentacles, power. You're gaining stability. Protect what you've earned. This is a baseline that no matter how high you reach, you're never going to fall lower than this point. This is a cushion. This is a safety net kind of thing, okay? It's a good week to set healthy boundaries, especially with money. Okay, understand where your money's going. Where have you been just kind of letting it flow away from you? Maybe you sort of stop that a little bit, okay? Protection up this week. Choose people that feel safe. Choose plans that feel safe and make boundaries that help you to feel safe. Safety, security, stability. Okay, stability is sexy, all right? So consistent habits and a calm calendar and a calm demeanor and very focused, energy, but calm focus. It's a clear mind, it's a calm heart. We're not anxious, we're not rushing, we're not freaking out when we have problems. I feel like you've got a really composed energy right now. And that's something that you need to maintain, okay, through those good habits. And not only a good habit isn't just, well, I did it once. Consistency, it's got to be every day, So focus on those little habits that are helping you to build whatever this is that you're building in your life, okay? I think that right now you are being rewarded for this structure that you're maintaining, for the rhythm that you have in life. I think there's a milestone that you are achieving, and I think you need to keep track of that, because when you're in moments of a Seven of Pentacles and it feels like things aren't working, remember the milestones that you've already hit, the things that you've already achieved, because no one can take these away from you. Where you're at right now, you may be struggling to solve a puzzle. And that's what the Seven of Pentacles really is. It's just a puzzle you're trying to solve. You've already passed this checkpoint. There's no going backwards, okay? So remember that. Your organization right now is going to help you to maintain that peace of mind and safeguard that happiness, that good attitude. Don't be too controlling, though. Be flexible, be open, be ready for new things to happen and invitations to come in. Allow joy. Stick to the plan, be safe, but be open to joy and be generous. Okay. Leadership right now, I think is going to be important. I like that we have the 3 going into a 4 as well. I think that there is this idea of leadership, that you're bringing something to completion, you're bringing something to a manifested state, from potential to kinetic energy, right? And I feel like this is bringing you a lot of recognition and maybe even, I don't know, you might be a leader in some way, okay? I'm getting that feeling here. But that confidence, right, very grounded, and it's a calm success, and it feels absolutely wonderful. You also have, of course, your superpower card, which is your ability to understand the process of transformation and how to transform not only the situation around you, but how you transform too. And that's part of our magician energy. The magician is very adaptable. Basically, these 2 cards, this is all you need in life. Because the art or temperance card is the situation. And of course, the magician is you. And this is all about how you're trying to influence the situation. You're trying to change things so they happen the way you want them to happen, right? That things happen, in your best interest, so to speak. But the magician, the real secret of these cards is that this situation is changing you just as much as you're changing it. It's alchemy. It works both ways, right? The magician has to realize that this situation is changing me. It's requiring different skills or talents. It's pulling different energies out of me. It's requiring that I take a look at myself and see where I need to let go of things or where I need to pick new things up. So I'm changing, and I have to change. I have to grow and evolve and adapt. And that's going to give you even more influence over your environment. So then you can change the environment. You can make your health better, your wealth better, your relationships, all this stuff. And then those new opportunities that brings you is going to require that you step up and start changing and growing too, right? So it really is the alchemy of manifestation here. And this card is also about the balance and the patience. It's going to make everything go a little bit smoother. So if there are challenges, you're handling them with a calm confidence. Okay? This is avoiding the extremes right now. Well, I think not so much avoiding the extremes, but I think that it's understanding the necessity of the Nine of Wands and the Nine of Cups, the water and the fire, you know. And so it's I guess it's sort of extreme, but it's like the strength multiplier and the happiness multiplier. So the magician is really understanding how to blend both the most intense work that we're capable of, and then the most intense joy and happiness and rest that we're capable of, and how we blend them together and mix them together to really achieve something profound. Okay, so you're not really avoiding extremes, but you're understanding how far to push the pendulum this way, and then how much it needs to swing back the other way. It's kind of like the more intense your workout, the more intense needs to be your rest period. You know what I mean? And I think that's a good way of kind of blending these energies. Yeah. I think that a lot of your progress is going to be through the understanding of your own personal routines. Okay? Not pushing yourself too far, but pushing yourself enough. Yeah. It's a good time for you to even try, cooking and literally like art, with this card. And if there is any kind of a rift between you and another person, it'd be a good time to try to heal that. It'd be a good week to reconcile with somebody that you might be at odds with, or there might be a little bit of maybe a misunderstanding or miscommunication. Okay? Trying to keep your life in harmony right now is going to help you to get closer to your goals. Yeah. We're trying to avoid the Three of Swords, not necessarily avoid it. Because if the Three of Swords is a painful memory from the past, we're not trying to just avoid it, because you know what it does? It goes to the unconscious, and then it starts haunting you. And it starts messing with your life in ways that you don't want it to. So it's not about avoiding the Three of Swords, but it's about recognizing it and saying, you're not going to have power over me. I see, otherwise, why is it even in the reading? Because we're supposed to see it. And we're supposed to recognize it and say, I'm not going to let you destroy my week. This might be an old pain or disappointment that's resurfacing for you. And allow yourself to feel it. Don't deny it. Don't try to suppress it, push it down, ignore it. Because again, it's going to go to the unconscious and it's going to mess with you. It's going to tie your shoelaces together when you're not looking, right? So allow yourself to feel whatever this feeling is, if it comes. It's not going to come for everybody, but if it does. It might be a week to, kind of heal something from the past. And sometimes that means we got to be kind to ourselves, Maybe it means that the healing is that Nine of Cups, and if there is this kind of energy lingering in your life, we got to use that Nine of Cups to heal, reparent ourselves. And sometimes we just need love and affection. Sometimes, when you're trying to help a child, the best thing to do is to just give it love, give the kid a hug, Give yourself now what you needed then. The Three of Swords is always from the past, but it's something that we might be reliving in the present moment. Could be a breakup, could be a loss, it could even be a misunderstanding. This is a chance to clear that old pain. Write it down, cry it out, whatever it does. Don't keep it bottled up, but say, I'm not going to let you ruin my week here. I'm not going to let you spoil my happiness. So we're going to have to, purify this, heal this a little bit, if it is that kind of old wound that's starting to hurt a little bit. Okay. And maybe, talking about it is going to be a big help as well. But don't blame yourself. Okay, this was something that you couldn't control. What you can do now is you can control how you deal with this memory. Okay? And healing this and releasing this is going to allow you to move forward with even more clarity and get all that good stuff in life that you're after. Now, the Hermit. I know this reading's getting long. Oof, man. Okay. So the Hermit. The Hermit is very introspective. Yeah. And so I feel like there's already this balance between the sort of extroversion and the introversion. And between the sort of front of the house, back of the house, on stage, in the spotlight, and of course the Hermit is behind the scenes. Yeah. Make sure you give yourself enough time for yourself. You know, make sure you give yourself enough time to rest. Yeah. A little bit of alone time, some quiet time so that you can recharge. Think deeply, contemplate your life, you know, and think about your future. Think deeply about what you want next, and where you're sort of going from here. Ask yourself those big, exciting life questions. And don't be afraid of being alone, okay? You got to tap into that intuition. And maybe it's a good week to, as part of the self-care, 9 of Cups, read, meditate, spend quality time with yourself. Fall in love with yourself again. Learn about you, you know? Reminds me of that episode of The Office where Andy and Daryl and them go roller skating. And Andy says, I got to hang out with a really nice guy named Andy or something like that. He said, I like him a lot. You know, spend time with yourself and really start liking yourself. And you probably already do, and that's good. But you can always use a little more. Yeah. So I think that's going to be very helpful for you. And do the things that you like to do. Yeah. Do more of the things that you like to do. You still have responsibilities, of course, but do things that you enjoy. It might be even a good week to be a good listener for somebody. Somebody close to you might need your ear. Okay, so just be open to that. Maybe limit the noise in your life a little bit. I'm kind of thinking a little bit less of the social media. Of course, you could still keep YouTube on, right? But other things that might just be distractions or might be noise, you know. Let's just maybe limit those, at least for a day. Yeah. Stillness is going to be a good friend for you this week. Let's look at the mystery card. This reading is getting too long. I apologize. We're going to be at an hour here before we get to the extended reading. Let me know what you think this is going to be. I want to see an Empress. I want to see that there's success and there's progress and there's abundance and there's growth, but that there's self-care too. Because that to me feels holistic, you know. So let's see what we have. Well, we've got the entire world. And this is kind of along those lines as well, you know. If the Empress is Mother Earth, this is kind of more of like a grandmother universe, you know. I think a long effort is going to reach its reward very, very soon, okay? And I think that 7 of Pentacles is going to break open, and it's going to be that effort is going to really be paying off. Another card is kind of saying celebrate how far you've come. Realize that no one can take all of your checkpoints or milestones away from you, and you're reaching for the next one, okay? As the week sort of progresses and as time moves on, tie up the loose ends. Don't leave a bunch of things undone. Don't walk away from things and never come back to them and finish them. Okay. This card to me is kind of always talks about the larger cycles. I always think of like a year cycle. So by the end of this year, and we're getting close, right? Your timeline is going to look a lot different. And I think this energy is showing that you're really you got a good rhythm going. Fire, water, fire, water. That blacksmith shop, you're being forged into steel, you know. I think a new chapter is going to begin as soon as we get past that 7 of Pentacles. It's going to open up tremendous success for you. I do feel the travel and the recognition vibing with this card as well. Sharing, of course, recognizing your role in the larger universe. Fulfillment is going to bring you peace, and I feel like a new beginning. Okay, this is extraordinary. I feel like you're very close to achieving a major milestone. And to me, the universe or the world card is always about the removal of boundaries. It's this Saturn energy that I feel like it's Saturn lifting. It's Saturn like rising, and saying, okay, fine, you can go. Yeah. So I feel like the blockage, whatever blockage you're feeling with that Seven of Pentacles, I feel like the way is being cleared for you. Yeah. Now we're going to do an extended reading. If you want to stick around, we'll do an I Ching hexagram. We'll do some oracle cards. We will clarify love and money. We'll do the yes/no coin. There's a link in the corner, and there should be a link right below the video. New readings for Sagittarius, Tuesdays and Fridays. Be sure to watch both readings. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. Leave a comment and let me know where in the world you are watching from. I want you to know that you're the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you and I love you, and we're all in this together.